Hi and welcome back to another episode of My Memories. It's your host here, Julio, and I know, I cut my hair, but who cares? Let's just get on with the video. On today's episode, we'll continue last week's episode, so if you haven't seen that one, the link will be down below. I ended this story telling you guys that I threw a tree trunk at a bunch of girls. So what actually happened, one of the girls actually brought their little sister. As she wasn't as tall as the other girls, she didn't see the tree trunk coming from the sky. So when the girls moved aside, the tree log actually fell on her head. To verify what actually happened, because I feel like it sounds kind of weird when I say tree trunk, it was like a log this thick. So I found it and I threw it. So it was kind of big, okay? Maybe not. I don't know, I speak Spanish, so everything is kind of bigger in my story. But so you know, I actually didn't know that this happened. So in the end of the story, I told you that I just ran off. When I came to school the next day, it was a big hustle and I had to apologize. And I mean, I felt sorry for her because I didn't know and I didn't want her to get the big tree log on her head. And I think she actually got a scar. No, I don't think. She got a scar. So like a small Harry Potter thingy. Oops. It was my hands. It was my hands. I promise. Okay, that was kind of awkward. I'm sorry. It's just I don't know. Technical inconveniences. I need to try and remake that so you guys believe me. I guess stuff like that happened. Where were we? Fast forward a little bit, or a couple of years, I actually started a new school. This little girl, she started in that school too. Of course, I recognized her, but I wasn't sure if she recognized me. So I always tried to be like extra kind to her because I had so much guilt. I always wanted to tell her like that I was sorry because since it happened so long ago, I didn't remember if I actually told her that I was sorry when the incident happened. So I tried to become her friend and tell her that I was sorry, but I never dared to do it. So one time she and I went to McDonald's and there I felt weird. I felt kind of like she liked me. And in my head I thought, oh my God, if she likes me and I say that and I tell her that I'm sorry, then she'll probably accept my apologies just because she likes me. So I felt like, okay, this is it. I have to tell her now. But before I had the time to tell her that I was sorry, she said, Julio, do you remember when we were kids and your brother threw a tree trunk on my head? And I was like, wait, what? In my head I was like, should I tell her it was me? But I really felt like, I felt sorry that she thought for like 5 years that it was my brother. So I just told her, I was like, it was actually me. And she was like, it's okay. And I felt kind of relieved that she said it was okay, but I still felt kind of bad because I felt like I kind of used her, I don't know, emotions towards me. So sorry for that if you ever see this video, but you probably won't. Just because that story was kind of short, I will throw in another similar story. When I was a kid, me, my cousin and my brother, we used to go to the beach. We usually stayed there the whole day from like 12 at noon to 9 p.m. We did that like the whole summer. A couple of older kids, they were 3 also, they came during the night and they basically took our spot. Usually we used to hang where there was like a volleyball net. But every time they came, they were like, oh, you have been here the whole day. And well, they didn't really know because they just got there. So every time they would basically chase us off. We tried to make like specific traps, so they didn't want to take our spot. So we took all seaweed we could find and we tossed it on top of the volleyball playground, but they only made us like throw it all back. My brother and my cousin, they ran into the water and the three guys started chasing them, and I don't know why. And I was actually I wanted to go to the bathroom, if I say it that way. So when the older kids started running towards my brother and my cousin, I started peeing on one of their t-shirts.
One of their teachers?
Not t-shirt, t-shirts. Fuck! T-shirts. Did I say it correctly? T-shirts. I don't know why I did it. I mean, I wanted to go to the bathroom. I was only a kid, so it's not like I would do that now. But yeah, I did that, and of course, they ran back and forced me to wash it in the beach. And well, after that, we didn't see those kids again. But similar to the other story, if we fast forward a couple of years, I meet one of the guys, actually the guy that I pissed on his t-shirt. And of course, not like the other story, I didn't want to apologize or anything. I wanted him basically to forget what happened, because it wasn't one of my proudest moments, if we say it that way. But of course, he remembered, and he wanted to say it very loudly so everyone on the bus would hear. So he said, "Julio, do you remember when your brother pissed on my t-shirt?" And I was like, oh my God, again? Everyone just thinks it's my poor brother's fault. And I thought I had to own up to it again. So I said, it was actually me. And then he starts yelling it super loud so everyone would hear in the bus, like, "It was you who pissed on my t-shirt!" And of course I had something so I could burn him too, since they weren't like the best kind of people when we were kids. One of them actually would pull down his own pants and run around in circles and yell. So I said that very loudly so people will think he was kind of weird too. But of course he just yelled, "It wasn't me, it wasn't me." After that incident on the bus, I actually met this guy like 3-4 years after that. He had a girlfriend and she had a daughter or a son, I don't remember, but he was asking me for money actually, and he was saying like, "Oh, you know, it's very hard to have a kid when we're so young," and he asked me for like $100. Yeah, I don't know if it was $100 at that time, but so 1,000 Swedish crowns. And of course, after pissing on his t-shirt, I felt kind of bad and for the kid and everything, so I did lend him this 1,000 crowns. After that, he never replied any of my texts, you know, so he could give me back the money, or if he saw me, he would basically run away or try to hide. A month after that, I actually saw him on the TV on like, it wasn't kind of like an outsider kind of show where he talked on how to save a lot of money, where he would basically go to the garbage to find presents for his family or other people. So yeah, if I would see him again, I would probably try to piss on him. Fuck that guy.
Men nej, det här blev jättefel.
Åh nej, va? What?
Jag letar efter presenter.
Okej, nej, nej. Åh men, hallå! Det här är samma sak som nu igen. This is... Oh my God, I was tricked. Don't listen to that, it's the same as... No, he's not! Han har ett hus, han har värsta villan! Small add-on to that story. He wasn't poor or anything. They actually had their own house and everything. The show was about people that were cheap. So it didn't have anything to do with his like economical standpoint or anything. He just was extremely cheap. So you know, it's not like I would go and piss on a homeless person. Wait, I won't go and piss on anyone. End of the story. I don't want to continue. Cut! 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 Oh my God. Okay, so those were the two stories I had to own up to my mistakes. I hope you liked that. And if you didn't, still like the video, comment and subscribe. See you next time on another My Memories episode. Memories, I'm sorry, Memories.